Well, hello, my name is Joey Davidson. I'm an associate minister with First Baptist Church of Charlotte. And as I sit here in this building today, I reminisce on the very first time that I encountered the Bob Barker Company. I was 14 years old. I had just been arrested for first-degree murder, and I was taken from the police station to a Los Angeles County juvenile hall. And that first night, I remember a guard yelling down the hallway, "Shower time!" And I'm thinking there's no way that I'm about to get naked with the rest of these guys in this facility. Well, come to find out, what I wanted no longer mattered, because in juvenile hall, showers were mandatory. So off to the shower I go, and it dawns on me that I do not have a bar of soap. Quite interesting, because prior to that day, there had never been a time where I showered or took a bath and did not have soap. But not having soap that night was actually a picture of a good portion of the prison population in the U.S. Many people who have families, due to their financial responsibilities and difficulties, cannot contribute financially to their loved ones who are locked up. And so me, like many others, headed to a shower in an institution with no bar of soap. And kind of in a perplexed way, I look at one of the guards and I say, "I don't have any soap." And so he reaches inside of a box, puts it in my hand. Indeed, it was a bar of soap. The irony is that on that day, with that emotional roller coaster, seemingly plunged into a nightmare, my life and so many others, I just remember that moment of relief that at least I was able to get a bar of soap. And it let me know that the journey wasn't going to be as difficult and as dirty as it possibly could have been. And I remember looking at the front and I said, "Wow, Bob Barker, like the old guy on The Price is Right just hooked me up with a free bar of soap." Like that is incredible. I can just hear him yelling, "Come on down." Well, in the years to come, I would find out that the person responsible for this bar of soap actually wasn't the old guy on The Price is Right, but a enterprising entrepreneur out of North Carolina. And this bar of soap on that night represented something unexpected that I didn't think I would ever receive. And my journey would be filled with unexpected encounters. I would say that the most unexpected thing I encountered while incarcerated was actually freedom. I learned on my journey that you can separate a person from society, sever all of their contacts with family and friends, isolate them from any contact, confine them within four walls, and in the depths of that confinement, that person still has three freedoms that will always be left to them. We will always have the freedom to learn, the freedom to change, and the freedom to grow. These three freedoms were provided to me in every institution I went to, in every cell block, in every day room, and it was those three freedoms that would ultimately come to redefine my life. The very first possession that I received in juvenile hall was actually a Gideon Bible, because the Gideon Bible Ministry had committed to supplying a Bible to every single cell in the entire U.S. prison system. And so they let me know, you can have a Bible, it's your only possession. With this Bible, I was given the freedom to learn. And you can't beat that on your first day. A Bible to clean the soul and a bar of soap to clean the body. Not bad for your first day in the clink. In having the freedom to learn, I was able to learn about God, His existence, His work. Most importantly, I was able to learn that there was a consequence for my sins that went far beyond the courtroom. And by God's grace and mercy, He allowed Jesus Christ to pay the penalty that I owed. In learning about the gospel message, I realized that I had the freedom to change, that I did not have to spend the rest of my incarceration being the same person that I was at that moment. In receiving the gospel and believing on the person and work of Jesus Christ, God not only gave me the freedom to change, but also the freedom to grow in that change. It is these three freedoms that ultimately paved the way for me to acquire physical freedom. And in looking back on my journey, after 20 years of incarceration on a life sentence, I realized that those three freedoms make all the difference. And believe it or not, it is those three freedoms that have made a big impact for the Bob Barker Company. Through the Bob Barker Company and the donations that have been made, the ministries and the organizations that are fueling these freedoms within the inmates' lives are able to continue on. With organizations like Alpha for Prison that does reentry initiatives to help inmates successfully reenter society, to helping finance organizations like the Christian Library International that focuses on discipleship and raising up leaders for Christ in the prison community that can bring that out into the free world, to assisting companies like Reaching Out From Within that help inmates get self-help literature. These are the organizations in the lives that are enabling inmates to have the freedom to learn, the freedom to change, and the freedom to grow. And Bob Barker's investment in these freedoms has allowed this company to not only provide products, but to provide the needed change in the lives of people so that both their incarceration and their future in society can be forever changed. So in being able to experience physical freedom, one of the things that surprised me in getting out is to discover that prisons actually extend far beyond the physical walls. I've met many people and encountered many lives that within spiritually were just as imprisoned as I was physically all of those years. And so the beauty of my journey is learning that there is no place of darkness where light cannot shine. There is no place that is far down deep enough to where hope cannot descend to. And so in knowing that there's no prison that has to be permanent, and learning that lesson at the age of 14, it would have a tremendous impact on the 20-year journey that I did behind prison walls. And I want everyone to know that no one has to stay in prison another day. And interestingly enough, all of the wisdom, all of the hope, all of the love that I was able to grow, to grab a hold of, actually came from the lives of other people that God allowed me to encounter. And so I encourage you in all the lives that you encounter, if you have any light, if you have any hope, if you've made it through anything, pass that on so that people can grab a hold of it. Because ultimately, we're in the business of setting people free. So it's been awesome getting to share some of my story with you all. Keep fighting the good faith and keep up the good work.